Hey Raiders fans, welcome back to the channel. And today we have an exclusive deep dive into the latest news surrounding our Las Vegas Raiders. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button so you never miss out on breaking news, exclusive updates, and all the behind-the-scenes content we bring you about your favorite team. Trust me, this is the place to be if you live and breathe Raiders football. All right, let's jump right in, because the story we're going to discuss today has been brewing for a little while now, and it's something that's making me feel a little nervous. I'm talking about Jacobe Meyers, and yes, if you've been following all the offseason chatter, you know that Jacobe is at the center of some uncertainty regarding his future with the team. Now, here's the deal. I got a text over the weekend that really caught my attention, and I'll quote it because the wording is telling. It said, "There is some frustration in regards to Jacobe right now and the Las Vegas Raiders. It is no secret that he's got $0 million guaranteed on his contract with 1 year remaining. And Jacobe wants a new deal. He's been looking for a new deal. Based on some reports that have been circulating, the Raiders and Jacobe have been in talks for months now. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, sets the stage for some tension. And as a fan who's invested in this team and wants to see it operate smoothly, that's a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't know exactly where the Raiders are with these discussions, but what I do know is that Jacobe Meyers wants a new deal with this organization, and the timing of everything makes it an interesting situation to follow. It reminds me a lot of what happened with Kolton Miller back on July 31st. If you remember, Miller signed his contract extension at the very end of July, and there's a lot of commentary around that deal, specifically from Ian Rappaport, who mentioned that the Raiders were also working on an extension for Jacobe Meyers. Now, here's the nuance. Rappaport is not someone who throws out random information. He's very deliberate, very connected, and when he says something, it usually carries weight. That makes the situation with Jacobe Meyers even more significant because it tells me that the conversations are serious and ongoing. But as of now, no deal has been finalized. Fast forward to 3 weeks after those initial reports, and we're now past the second preseason game. Jacobe Meyers isn't going to play in the final preseason game, which is true for most starters, but the fact that he's sitting out is a reminder that this is a pivotal moment for both the player and the team. Think about this. The Raiders have already traded for a quarterback and extended that quarterback's deal. They gave Kolton Miller a contract extension as well. And yet, for Jacobe Meyers, who has been a consistent and loyal performer, there's still no extension in place. Now, I'm not trying to put words into Jacobe's mouth, but based on the information I received, I can imagine he might feel a sense of frustration. He's done everything asked of him during the offseason, shown commitment to the team, and yet the contract situation hasn't moved forward. If I were in his shoes, I'd be asking myself, why am I not being rewarded for my dedication and loyalty to this team? And that's where my concern comes in. We're entering a critical period in late August, and the last thing you want is a contract issue brewing at a time when the team should be focused on the start of the season. So, should the Raiders extend Jacobe Meyers? My answer to that is yes, and I'll break down why I feel so strongly about it. Jacobe Meyers has consistently shown that he's a professional. He's not a diva. He doesn't create unnecessary drama. He's committed to excellence both on and off the field. He's not a flashy, headline-grabbing superstar like some other wide receivers in the league, but he gets the job done, and he does it in a way that embodies the kind of culture the Raiders want to build. His loyalty, work ethic, and physical style of play make him a cornerstone for the offense. Extending Jacobe isn't just about paying a player. It's about signaling to the rest of the roster that the Raiders take care of their players, that they reward hard work and dedication, and that loyalty matters in this organization. Now, I want to give you some concrete examples of what an extension could look like. First, I projected a 3-year $54 million deal, which comes out to $18 million per year, with $38 million guaranteed. That structure mirrors some of the deals we've seen this offseason, particularly with Kolton Miller, who signed a 3-year $66 million deal with $42.5 million guaranteed. That's important context because it shows consistency in how the Raiders are valuing their key players. My second projection is slightly different. A 2-year $38 million deal with $34 million guaranteed, structured similarly to Geno Smith's contract, with zero guaranteed in the final year. Both of these options position Jacobe as one of the top 25 highest-paid wide receivers in the league, which is not just fair, but also a strategic investment. When you look at the type of offense the Raiders are aiming to run, whether it's a Chip Kelly-style system focused on the run or a spread offense where targets are distributed, you need players like Jacobe Meyers. He can block, he can catch, he's team-oriented, and he does exactly what the coaching staff needs him to do without demanding excessive targets. That kind of player is invaluable, especially in a system that values execution and team cohesion over individual stats. My concern is that if the Raiders don't extend him, it could create a ripple effect. Even though Jacobe is a professional, frustration can build. Teams would be interested in Jacobe Meyers because he's still an impact player, but if the Raiders wait too long, they could receive a lower offer than they might otherwise command. And let's be honest, he has ties to several teams, including the New England Patriots and other organizations familiar with his style and capabilities, which only increases trade interest. So, while a trade is an option, extending Jacobe Meyers seems like the smart, straightforward move. It rewards loyalty, ensures continuity in the offense, and avoids unnecessary headaches as the regular season approaches. For fans, this is a critical story because it impacts the team's chemistry, on-field production, and a message being sent to current and future players. The Raiders have a history of prioritizing certain players and setting a standard for how they treat their core contributors. Extending Jacobe Meyers is consistent with that philosophy and positions the team well for the upcoming season. As of right now, we're in a waiting game, but I wanted to bring all this context to you because this is a situation that fans need to understand. It's not just about numbers on a contract. It's about relationships, culture, and the direction of the franchise. And if you've been following this channel, you know that we always dig into these stories in depth because being a Raiders fan isn't just about the games. It's about knowing what's happening behind the scenes and how it will impact the team you love. So, stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep watching because this story is far from over, and how it unfolds will tell us a lot about the priorities of the Las Vegas Raiders organization. Now that we've covered the situation surrounding Jacobe Meyers and the potential contract extension, let's shift our focus a little to examine how this could impact the Raiders' overall offensive strategy and the dynamics within the locker room as we approach the regular season. One thing that's crystal clear is that the Las Vegas Raiders are in a very delicate phase right now. The team has invested heavily in certain key areas, and the chemistry that develops during training camp and preseason carries more weight than most casual observers realize. When a player like Jacobe Meyers is in limbo regarding his contract, it's not just a numbers game. It's about trust, communication, and the intangible factors that make a team cohesive on game day. Let's break it down from a football perspective. Jacobe Meyers is not only a reliable receiver, but he's also the kind of player who elevates those around him. His route-running precision, ability to make contested catches, and willingness to contribute in blocking schemes make him a Swiss Army knife for any offensive coordinator. Imagine being a quarterback entering week 1 of the season. Having a wide receiver who consistently knows his assignments and adjusts on the fly is invaluable. It reduces mental load, allows for quicker reads, and, frankly, makes your passing game more efficient. The Raiders, who have been working to fine-tune their offensive playbook, cannot afford to have even a slight disruption in that chemistry. A lingering contract dispute, no matter how professional the player is, has the potential to create minor distractions that add up over a 17-game season. Coaches like Josh McDaniels rely on consistency, and every practice, every rep, every route counts toward building that continuity. Beyond the XS and OS, there's the human element. Locker room morale is influenced by the way an organization treats its players. If Jacobe Meyers is left waiting or the team's commitment to him appears half-hearted, that sends a subtle message to everyone else. Loyalty and performance might not always be rewarded. That is a dangerous precedent in a league where trust and respect between players and management are key to long-term success. It's not just about Jacobe. Think about the younger players, the draft picks, and the developmental prospects. They're watching everything that happens, and they're taking mental notes about how the organization handles contract negotiations and player extensions. The culture of a team is shaped by these decisions. If the Raiders extend Jacobe, it reinforces a culture of reward for hard work, which could motivate younger players to buy into the system even more deeply. If they don't, it could foster doubt and hesitation, which is the last thing any team wants as the season approaches. Financially, the Raiders are in a position where they can make this extension work. They have cap space, and the structure of the deals we discussed in the first part, whether it's the 3-year, $54 million extension or the 2-year, $38 million deal, fits comfortably within their budget. The league is in a period where wide receivers with Jacobe's skill set are in high demand, and waiting too long could backfire if other teams start a circle and the player decides to explore his options elsewhere. Speaking of other teams, it's worth considering the landscape. There's no doubt that Jacobe Meyers has drawn attention across the league. Teams that value precision, route running, and versatility in a receiver would likely make a compelling offer if he became available. This isn't just speculation. It's based on how teams have been actively scouting and preparing for free agency. By acting decisively now, the Raiders not only secure Jacobe, but also prevent competitors from gaining an advantage. Another aspect to consider is the mental and emotional state of Jacobe himself. Players are human, and being uncertain about your contract can weigh heavily on performance. Even a professional like him could experience subtle effects in practice or in game preparation. Extending him now not only solidifies the financial side, but also allows him to focus entirely on football, which benefits the team as a whole. On the field, the Raiders' offense has potential, but also areas of concern. The quarterback situation is stabilizing, and there are weapons around him, but consistency is still key. Having Jacobe in place, fully committed and confident, ensures that the offensive rhythm remains intact. When you consider how the team wants to develop its passing schemes, mixing intermediate routes, deep threats, and situational play calling, Jacobe's presence allows the coaching staff to plan with certainty. Uncertainty about a key receiver throws that planning into question, which is not ideal at this stage. Now, let's talk about the broader strategy. The Raiders are trying to balance high-impact plays with controlled, methodical football. Players like Jacobe make that balance possible because he can execute the fast-paced, explosive elements while also handling the more detailed, technical assignments. His versatility is one reason why extending him is not just about numbers, it's about strategy. Consider also the fan perspective. Fans crave continuity, and Jacobe has built rapport with the Raiders' faithful. His presence creates stability, both on and off the field, and helps maintain the team's identity. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The sports world is buzzing with rumors that could reshape the NFL landscape, as whispers out of Nevada suggest that superstar wide receiver Justin Jefferson has agreed to a jaw-dropping deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. While nothing has been confirmed officially by either Jefferson's camp or the Raiders' front office, insiders claim the agreement involves a staggering figure that would make him one of the highest-paid players not only in his position, but across the league. The Raiders, a franchise historically known for their boldness and flair, appear to be doubling down on their commitment to build a Showtime roster capable of dominating both on the field and in headlines. Jefferson, widely considered one of the most electrifying offensive talents of his generation, could provide the perfect spark for a team that has been searching for consistency and star power since its relocation to Las Vegas. If this deal proves to be true, it might not only elevate the Raiders' chances in the highly competitive AFC West, but also transform the city's football identity into one centered around high-octane performances and highlight reel plays, drawing even more fans to Allegiant Stadium and igniting excitement across the NFL spectrum. The potential move has already sent shockwaves throughout league circles as executives, coaches, and fans alike speculate about the implications of such a seismic acquisition. For Minnesota Vikings supporters, the rumor carries a bittersweet sting, as Jefferson has been the face of their offensive future since entering the league and setting records with his explosive speed, precise route running, and game-changing ability. The possibility of losing him, especially at a moment when the Vikings are still trying to solidify their long-term quarterback plans, could create a ripple effect that alters their entire trajectory. On the Raiders' side, however, the narrative shifts toward ambition, aggression, and a willingness to push chips to the center of the table in pursuit of immediate success. Jefferson's addition could open up the offense in ways fans have long dreamed of, creating mismatches across the field and forcing defensive coordinators to completely rewrite game plans when preparing for Las Vegas. While skepticism remains, the very idea of pairing Jefferson with the silver and black has already captured imaginations, fueling endless debates about whether this is the missing piece to propel the Raiders back into playoff relevance. There is also the question of chemistry and leadership within the Raiders' locker room, as Jefferson's arrival could alter dynamics in ways both positive and challenging. Veteran players may welcome his talent and swagger, recognizing the opportunity to compete at the highest level with one of the league's elite weapons. At the same time, integrating such a high-profile figure into a roster comes with its own set of expectations and adjustments, as younger receivers and established contributors will need to adapt to a new hierarchy. Reports suggest the Raiders' coaching staff has been preparing for a major offensive shakeup, and Jefferson's rumored signing would be the centerpiece of that strategy. In terms of fan engagement, Las Vegas could see an unprecedented surge in ticket sales, merchandise demand, and national media exposure, reinforcing its growing reputation as the NFL's entertainment capital. Critics argue that even a talent of Jefferson's caliber cannot single-handedly resolve deeper systemic issues within the Raiders organization, such as defensive consistency and long-term quarterback stability. Yet supporters counter that such a move is precisely the kind of gamble that aligns with the spirit of Las Vegas itself. Bold, risky, and capable of paying off in unforgettable fashion if the cards fall right. Adding to the intrigue are the financial dimensions of the alleged deal, which sources whisper could surpass previous benchmarks set for wide receivers in recent years. The Raiders have long been known to chase marquee names, but a contract of this magnitude would represent a statement not only to their division rivals, but to the entire league. In a sport where salary cap management is often as crucial as play calling, skeptics wonder how Las Vegas would balance such a commitment with the need to strengthen other roster areas, particularly the offensive line and secondary. Yet, the possible economic upside might justify the gamble. Jefferson's marketability extends far beyond the gridiron, making him a potential cornerstone for branding, endorsements, and visibility in a city designed for spectacle. Analysts point out that in the modern NFL, star power translates directly into franchise valuation, and few names carry the magnetic draw that Jefferson currently holds. For a city like Las Vegas, still carving out its identity as a football town, securing a player of his stature could accelerate the process and embed the Raiders as not just a team to watch, but a cultural phenomenon where sports, business, and entertainment converge. As the rumor mill continues to churn, fans and media outlets are left in suspense, awaiting confirmation or denial from the parties involved. Until official statements are made, speculation reigns supreme, with every social media post, sideline glance, or cryptic comment dissected for hidden meaning. Some insiders insist that the deal is essentially finalized and merely awaiting the right moment for a dramatic unveiling, possibly with Jefferson stepping onto the Allegiant Stadium field in front of thousands of roaring fans. Others caution that such whispers have emerged before, only to fizzle when negotiations hit unforeseen roadblocks. Regardless of the outcome, this story has already succeeded in dominating the off-season conversation, showcasing the power of rumors to ignite passion and anticipation across the sports world. For Raiders fans, the dream of watching Justin Jefferson light up the desert sky in silver and black is tantalizing, a vision of offensive fireworks and revived glory. For skeptics, it is a reminder that until ink meets paper, nothing in the NFL is certain. What is undeniable, however, is that the possibility alone has electrified football discourse, turning a quiet summer stretch into one of the most talked about moments in recent memory. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.